they don't have plenty of room.
Did you go digging?
Because if they
I did. I just
if they did stuff, you're gonna hit them.
I told them why I was asking. Like, oh yeah, definitely. Go to the ordinance.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, they were very.
They opened up.
Yeah, they opened up. Yeah.
My car was
No pun intended.
That one went right over just because it's
Pretty slick.
slow down.
It's getting late already. We've been up too long with the thing.
You
Started
do
too
it
early.
in town.
Never thought I'd have curves and mustard for breakfast, but should have been it.
You could do it on the highway.
He actually just sent me, he sent me a
curious, though,
text
where's
with a
the
picture of him, a little blue sign that they put on the table. He goes, guess who's here? And of course, all the kids ask me to get them something. I said, hey, I'm not there to eat. I said, I'm just there to.
Call to order council meeting for November the 8th. If everyone would stand for the pledge. Remain standing for prayer.
Dear Lord, bless the decisions of this body, guide us tonight and the future as well. Amen.
Do we have roll call?
Somebody do roll call.
Roll call.
President Salters,
Here.
Vice President Grove,
Here.
Councilman Gornell,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Here.
Councilman Ravalette,
Here.
Councilman Stengel,
Here.
Mayor Yocum.
Here. Adoption of the agenda.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll second.
Motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to adopt the agenda as presented.
Question.
Councilman Salters,
Yes.
Councilman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Gornell,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Yes.
Councilman Ravalette,
Yes.
Councilman Stengel.
Yes. And the agenda is adopted by a vote of 7-0. Need approval of the October 25th minutes.
Make a motion to approve the October 25th minutes.
I'll second.
Motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to adopt the October 25th minutes as presented.
Question.
President Salters,
Yes.
Vice President Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Gornell,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Yes.
Councilman Ravalette,
Yes.
Councilman Stengel.
Yes.
And by a vote of 7-0, they are approved. Petitions, memorials, remonstrances. I do have a proclamation to read in recognition of Veterans Day. City of Vincennes, Office of the Mayor proclamation to all whom these presents may come, greetings. Whereas the best acknowledgement of our freedom is to honor our armed forces, veterans, who have sacrificed and in many instances paid the ultimate price for our freedom. And whereas the residents of Vincennes and Knox County recognize and respect the thousands of county veterans for their many sacrifices and contributions. And whereas we value and greatly appreciate the involvement and contributions to the social and economic programs made by our area veterans. And whereas both men and women of our armed forces continue to be an inspiration to all of us through their their demonstration of courage, leadership, and commitment in service to our city, county, state, and nation. And whereas we in Vincennes and throughout all of Knox County will always remember and pay tribute to our military community, both active and inactive, for their contributions, dedication, and support that allows us to enjoy the many freedoms we have today. Now therefore be it resolved that in observance of Veterans Day, Thursday, November 11th, 2021, the citizens of Vincennes and Knox County proudly join the rest of our nation to salute and give special honor to the men and women who have served us in our U.S. Armed Forces. Veterans Recognition Day. In testimony whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the city of Vincennes to be affixed on this 9th day of November in the year of the Lord, 2021.
Thank you.
And again, thank you to all our veterans that are present. Nothing else, we will move to committee chair reports.
All right, so we had a committee meeting of the events, projects, and programming committee where we went over basically the grant request by the Pantheon. We kind of broke it up into specific categories. We had 4 categories that we ended with, the key thing being that money be used specifically for the taxpayers that the Pantheon is supposed to be taking care of. So we had a breakdown of what we're looking at, and then Nicole will then kind of put the rules in place or how that will work for them. But we looked at $25K for entrepreneurs, startups, and gig businesses, 15 for baby businesses. Those would be the ones that have just started. 5K for teachers and students to be able to apply and be able to use that, and then 5K for hardships, and that was something that Councilman Grove advocated for. So that's the agreement that we've got with Nicole. Has this information, and she will write that up and then give us reports on how that is being used moving forward.
Okay, the Veterans Committee had what I think will be our final meeting last Tuesday. And we got finalized a lot of things that we have coming up for this Thursday for Veterans Day. One of those things is that we have ordered several of the Veterans Day cards we're going to take around to all the long-term care facilities here in town and distribute those to all the veterans who live in those locations. And also we have ordered and received these American flags, the sticker flags that we're also going to put in each one of those cards and hand out at some of the school functions. If they have convocations, we'll hand these out and make them available to the students for them to pick up. As a matter of fact, I have one for each of you to wear on Thursday on Veterans Day. Awesome. So we will take it and pass it down, please. Also, we're very thankful that the local merchants have agreed to give some type of a discount, some type of a special pricing for our local veterans on Veterans Day. And the Civitan Club has volunteered to put American flags up and down Main Street and also on Willow Street this Thursday in honor of our veterans. So I think we have got quite a bit down. We're looking forward to Veterans Day, and we're just sorry it's going to rain on Veterans Day. That's it.
I believe there's a UEA meeting on the 17th next week. Is that right, Dan?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
At 5 o'clock?
Right.
That's the all. Thank you.
All right, I want to talk briefly about the Area Plan Commission. We had an Area Plan Commission, and one of the questions that was brought up was, back in July, they had presented us with maybe some zoning updates to that plan. It hasn't been redone since essentially 2003. And they were looking for some comments from us. I know Brad had brought in, talked about the mobile home ordinance, maybe something along the lines of tightening that up. And I know that Dave is looking into a way to revise what we had passed earlier in the year. Some of the other things that are for consideration on the Area Plan Commission that will affect and do affect us in the city of Vincennes. They have had a few requests for lighted billboards, and there's nothing currently in that zoning ordinance that will deal with them, or video boards in some aspects. So at some point I'd like to have some input from the rest of the council on their thoughts there. Also, we had a pretty big issue that was in Sanborn, but would affect something with us too. It's in that zoning ordinance too, and that is industrial or commercial creeping into residential neighborhoods. And the setback is just 25 foot. It just has to be 25 feet from a residential lot line, plus whatever the building setback would be at some point too. So that's only a total of 50 feet. They are looking to redo that or increase that distance, and at some point they are going to want some input from the mayor and Brad and whoever else and this board about what we would like to see within the city of Vincennes. And I know previously we've dealt in special circumstances, or this council did, all close to the Coles development where Mary Yoakum actually lives. There's a greater setback has been installed back there, and instead of going through that entire process, just cleaning that up in general, and then if there was, and for the safety of the residents, and then if they wanted to, they could apply for a variance, and then residents then would have the ability to remonstrate against that. It would work in reverse the other way. So, area plan's got some things there. Just please, if you have comments, both on this council or Brad or Joe, please let us know. And I'll relay those to the Area Plan Commission.
Thank you, Councilman.
I had a Pantheon Building Board meeting, and we got updates on the exterior portion. They are, actually, they should be done by now, grinding out all the mortar. They're currently trying to pick a mortar that is as close to the original as possible, so that's a bigger task than I thought it would be, but they've done several different areas and trying to figure out which one resembles the existing. The terracotta work is kind of intricate, trying to get it to match as closely as possible to what's there. So if you go by, there is a couple pieces that have been done, so if you can find them, then that's, we want to know that. Lots of things have been ordered. The windows have been ordered. All the electronics for the sound system on the inside has been ordered. But we don't have expectation dates yet. That's it.
Okay, any other? Move on to report of city officers. And we'll move to old business, business updates.
Okay. Like I've said before, we're really hitting a good time for our businesses. This is a time of year they really do look forward to. And we have seen a very large uptick in people buying and purchasing from our local businesses. And that's what we want to see. And we would expect to see it during this time period. And obviously, this is our time to give the pitch to buy, shop local, encourage people to do that. We've got a lot of great businesses here that will provide for our holiday needs. So if you go out there, our businesses are doing well, and let's make sure that we keep the foot on the gas and supporting locally.
Okay, move on to county metrics update.
Our county metrics are great. We almost had a shot at going blue last week. We were at 20 cases per 100,000. If we would have dropped under the 100, we were 123 cases per 100,000 for the week. If we would have dropped under 100, that would have thrown us into blue. We're very solid yellow right now, which is great. We hadn't been yellow for about 2.5 to 3 months. So our 7-day positivity is tracking downward. Our cases per 100,000 are tracking downward. We went from a 2.5 to a 1, which is the trend that I like to see. So I'd expect us to kind of be around that range if you kind of look at the numbers that we have going into this week. And if you look at school cases are down too. So that's another positive. So really good thing for us as we head into the holiday season.
Move to new business. First up is Resolution 5, 2021, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Vincennes, Indiana, establishing procedures on grant funding awards.
Make a motion to read Resolution 5, 2021.
I'll second.
Got a motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to read and approve Resolution 5, 2021.
Resolution number 5, 2021, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Vincennes, Indiana, establishing procedures on grant funding awards containing Section 1 and Section 2 with grant procedures and grant reporting for the City Clerk Treasurer's Office.
Okay, discussion. This is basically just to do with State Board of Accounts, something
Right.
that we have to have in place for our grant.
When a grant applies, we have to make sure that the procedures and stuff are in place.
Question?
Councilman Gornell?
Yes.
Councilman Grove?
Yes.
Councilman Lau?
Yes.
Councilman McNeese?
Yes.
Councilman Ravelette?
Yes.
Councilman Salters?
Yes.
Councilman Stengel?
Yes.
And by a vote of 7-0, Resolution 5, 2021 passes. Next is Ordinance 17, 2021, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Vincennes, Indiana, establishing a fund for the City of Vincennes for the Vincennes Police COSSAP lead stipend.
Make a motion to read and approve Ordinance 17, 2021.
Second.
Motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to have first reading of Ordinance 17, 2021.
Ordinance 17, 2021, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Vincennes, Indiana, establishing a fund for the City of Vincennes for the Vincennes Police Department Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Substance Abuse Program in collaboration with the hospital, containing sections 1 through 3.
Discussion. This is where they are, the hospital is giving the hospital, or the hospital is giving the police department $10,000 a year for this program.
Yeah, so we have to set up, the fund to be able to take that money in. Pretty simplistic.
Any other discussion?
Question.
Councilman Cornell,
Yes.
Councilman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Yes.
Councilman Revelette,
Yes.
Councilman Salters,
Yes.
and Councilman Stengel.
Yes.
And by a vote of 7-0, first reading of ordinance 17, 2021 passes. Next is ordinance 18, 2021, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Vincennes, Indiana, establishing a fund for the City of Vincennes for the state-administered CDBG program.
Make a motion to read ordinance 18, 2021.
Second.
Got a motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to have first reading of ordinance 18, 2021.
Ordinance number 18, 2021, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Vincennes, Indiana, establishing a fund for the City of Vincennes for the State-Administered Community Development Block Grant Program, Sections 1, 2, and 3.
Discussion. This is set up so that the senior center received a grant of $200,000, but the city was the applicant, because that's the only way they could get it. But we will pay for everything in that grant, and then when they receive the money back
And
from
we
the state, it'll
reimburse,
be
yeah.
reimbursed. So that's what we're doing, is we're paying it and they'll reimburse us.
Very similar to what we do with other organizations and groups when they need us to apply for the grant, because we're the ones that they have to apply through, so nothing new here.
Question.
Councilman Cornell,
Yes.
Councilman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Yes.
Councilman Revelette,
Yes.
Councilman Salters,
Yes.
Councilman Stengel.
Yes. And by a vote of 7-0, first reading of ordinance 18, 2021 passes. Next is ordinance 19, 2021, an ordinance of the City of Vincennes authorizing the issuance of waterworks revenue bonds for the purpose of providing funds to pay the cost of certain additions, extensions, and improvements to the municipal waterworks of said city, providing for the safeguarding of the interest of the owners in said bonds, other matters connected therewith, including the issuance of notes and anticipation bonds, and repealing ordinances inconsistent herewith. That's a long one.
Make a motion to read ordinance 19, 2021.
Second.
Got a motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to have first reading of ordinance 19, 2021.
Ordinance number 19, 2021, an ordinance of the City of Vincennes authorizing the issuance of waterworks revenue bonds for the purpose of providing funds to pay the cost of certain additions, extensions, and improvements to the municipal waterworks of said city, and providing for the safeguarding of the interest of the owner of said bonds, other matters connected therewith, including issuance of notes in anticipation of the bonds in an amount not to exceed $8,500,000.
Discussion.
Kirk, I want to thank you for presenting to us last week, or last 2 weeks ago at our meeting, and giving us the information for this. It's a great project, not just drinking water project, but, you know, to me, it's a housing project. This is going to kick off, you know, us to be able to expand that. And the key component of this is the rates will stay the same. And your department has just done fantastic work in keeping our rates low and being able to continue to upgrade the infrastructure, which I can't thank you enough for that. So I'm very excited about this project.
Any other discussion?
Question.
Councilman Cornell,
Yes.
Councilman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Yes.
Councilman Revelette,
Yes.
Councilman Salters,
Yes.
Councilman Salters.
Yes. And by a
First
vote of
angle.
7-0, first
say
reading of
yes.
ordinance.
Do I get two votes?
Sorry,
No,
I
no.
went Stengel.
He saw, he knew.
I knew you. Threw me
Pretty
for a
funny, actually.
Only Dan can say.
All right, we'll move on to claims.
Make a motion to pay claims in the amount of $157,111.11.
I'll second.
Motion by President Salter, second by Vice President Grove to pay the claims amount of $157,111.11. Any discussion on claims?
Question?
Councilman Revelette,
Yes.
Councilman Ganal,
Yes.
Councilman Grove,
Yes.
Councilman Lau,
Yes.
Councilman McNeese,
Yes.
Councilman Salters,
Yes.
Councilman Stagel.
Yes.
And by a vote of 7-0, the claims are paid. Anything under miscellaneous?
Just prepare for next meeting. Kathy is going to discuss fees with us. I think she's reached out to you to let you know her concerns with certain fees, whether it's actually a deterrent or not, whether it's worth us using that. So we're going to have a discussion moving forward with that. That's something that she would like to have addressed by the end of the year. So she will start that discussion with us at our next meeting. So I just want you to kind of look into that on your own.
I think her discussion is the fee even, in some of them, doesn't pay for the time that it
doesn't pay
takes
for the
a
time,
person
like for us,
to actually do the due
A,
diligence.
it's not a deterrent for the citizen to not do the act that we're trying to avoid, but then on our end, it's not
Labor.
really worth us to collect because of the fee being so low. So there's a lot of things that we need to discuss. She's got a list. I'd ask that you would reach out to her if you've got any questions, but next meeting, she's gonna have a whole point where we go over this kind of line by line and specific fees and issues that we have.
Okay, if nothing else, we'll open up for public comment. Come up to the,
I'm Sandy Ivers. I live at 6384 South 6th Street Road, Vincennes, Indiana. And I'm going to share some data with you. We had talked with Mr. Salters about asking him to give this data with his reports that he gives. And so he's decided not to do that. We feel like it's really important for our community to have all the information possible concerning the current COVID-19 situation. And so we, along with half of our county, have educated ourselves to find out what's going on with the vaccine and what's in it, and is it proven to be valuable or is it proven to be detrimental. So with any other decisions that you make, I know that you do quality research. I know you educate yourself to bring before the public your best decisions, your best input. And so that's all we've asked you to do with this as well. And so I'll give you the current data that we feel like needs to be brought along with what Mr. Salters brings forth. Mr. Salters, do you get your information from Dr. Christina Box?
We get ours from the state site and from the CDC.
Okay, so then we're on the same page with that, because this comes from the CDC, and it's also published weekly, right along with everything you give. So really my question is, you're getting information that you're putting out from CDC and state, so why are you leaving this?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I leave out. I mean, the key things that we focus on are trends that affect our businesses, community events, schools, the things that we have responsibility over. And that's what we have focused on, and we focus a lot on the local level, and we will continue to focus that way.
I think all of our numbers are on the local level. Are these numbers you're about to give us, are they local numbers?
They're on the state as well, state coming from CDC. And so we feel like it's important for people to know about deaths and injuries. And I guess that's not important to you, Mr. Salters, but here's the latest stats. VAERS reported COVID vaccine injuries and deaths in Indiana as of November 8th, 2021. Total injuries and deaths, 212,905.
Are those Knox County deaths?
Those
This
are
is the
people
s-
that have died in Indiana,
Knox-
based on.
I'm not finished, Mark.
Well,
This is deaths and injuries. 2012, 905 deaths and injuries. Deaths, 138. Hospitalization, 10,182. Miscarriage, birth defects, 9. Teen injuries, 482. And so we're just now there's just now getting reports on the kids that are being vaccinated. Those injuries and deaths are just starting to come in. So that'll be added to this. And so we'll just, if you don't want to do this and inform the public, you did say we could do this.
It's a podium, we have public comment.
So we will bring this to you so that our community can be informed.
When you say CDC site, do you mean VAERS?
Yes.
The VAERS site, we can't get verifiable data from that. And I know that I've had this discussion with you. This is reported by the individuals,
It's
which is different than the numbers that we're getting. And
It is
like I'm
required
saying,
by
I think-
law to be reported by the
It
doctors.
is, but the sheer volume that it has doesn't allow that to happen. I mean,
The
just
volume-
the
the
sheer
volume-
volume of people that report things throughout the CDC, not just that, because the CDC has a lot of different branches.
This report from theirs is only related to the vaccines.
I know, and the VAERS site, and you told me to look at it. When I looked at it, it says that you can't use this as a specific data point. That's the first warning that I got.
Well,
That
when
doesn't
we
mean
read
that
it,
you don't look at it.
Mrs. Ivers, when I pull up the CDC site right here,
Mm-hmm.
it says get your vaccine. First thing.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
The CDC site will say that, the FDA, the WHO will say that, but what we're bringing forth is CDC, you don't hear this on mainstream media, the amount of deaths, the amount of injuries. So there's an agenda going on there. So that's what we're talking about. You've got to educate yourself. You've got to go deeper than what mainstream media is
So the Reddit
putting out
science
there.
that you're quoting, in my opinion, is why my daughter got COVID 2 weeks ago. All four of us, the parental units in her life, are vaccinated. We did not get COVID, but she got it from other people that weren't. That's what it is. And I know that you're here, but the Reddit science that you're quoting is why that my daughter was out for 2 weeks.
Let me just tell you, Mark, the statements that you're making are incorrect, that anybody that is vaccinated or unvaccinated can transmit COVID-19. That is proven. They've said that all along. So to sit there and say that an unvaccinated person gave it to your child is false.
Not really.
Yes, it is. And I can show you that data. I can bring it in.
We're not gonna
I'm-
turn this
I'm
into an
uninterested in arguing.
argument.
This is
Okay,
for
I'm
public
just-
If you wanna
comment,
come
not
and
debate.
bring your numbers and just say
So-
the numbers, but attacking Councilman.
I'm not attacking
Salters for that.
anybody,
But
but
Sandy
you
did.
are coming
So-
across as saying that it's unvaccinated, and that is not true. And I'm not going to.
You have your opinion, I have mine.
Exactly.
So, and I stated mine. So
Okay,
thank
and
you
then-
for
wait,
stating yours.
And I'll stop it here. Public comment's public comment. Everybody's welcome to come on public comment. And I'm gonna continue reporting the things the way that I feel is best for the community, and that's those local trends that we see that affect our businesses, events, and our schools. And that's what we have done since almost 2 years now, right, Mayor?
Right.
I mean, they've been basically the same things. We've added a few things here or there. I do not post everything.
And
There's
that's
a lot of information that I do not post.
And
but I try to
that's fine.
focus specifically on basically the trend lines which lead to the county metrics, which is what the state uses, because that's what we have been given. That's what we have to focus on as city leaders when it comes to this. We're not responsible for the vaccine. We're responsible for making sure our businesses stay open, our events are allowed to happen, and our schools can stay open. And I think that we've done a really good job on that. Not just us, I mean everybody involved. Our county has done a fantastic job. So I will continue to focus on that, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
I do appreciate you doing that. You know, as we've talked, I said that I do go to your Facebook page because I follow it as well. So, you know, I agree with all that. But I also know that there's another side to it, and I just want to get that out as well.
And real
Okay.
quick, can we get your name and address? just
Yes,
for the record?
my name is Betsy Irvin, and my address is 8451 North Pierce Road in Bruceville.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I was just going to say thank you.
Well, I wanted to say thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the proclamation referring to our veterans. It's so important. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? If not, we'll move for the good of the order.
Do I do this one backwards today, Dan?
No. He wouldn't like it.
All right, let's start in District 1. Councilman Grove.
Once again, paving. Several streets in my district have been on the list and are being paved. It's really good to see. I see Procopio's market is about to open. If anybody didn't know about Procopio's market,
Do you know the date when that?
I do not know. I meant to stop in and talk to him before I came today, but he wasn't in his shop there. So, but it's soon. They've got the remodel done. They're stocking the shelves. He was hoping the first part of November, so it's going to be kind of exciting for that little area down there, and for everybody. I mean, the meat and just all the things he's going to offer. Another thing I've noticed, the rehabbing of older homes had kind of stayed out of the historic district, but there's a company that's come into town. I don't know a lot about the company. I think it's We Buy Homes. I was kind of skeptical at first, but some of the properties that they have taken over, I thought were going to be demoed. And the latest one is like the 800 block of Washington Avenue. That house had been dilapidated for a long time, and if you drive by it now, it's got a new roof on it. They've painted it. It looks fantastic. And a lot of people avoid, those big contractors avoid my district because of the historic area. But they've came in, they've gone through the HRB to get things done right. I know that house was denied a metal roof probably 10 years ago, and it just sat there that way with one section of metal roof. And they've came in, they put a new roof on it and done some great work to it. They also did the house on Main Street, not in my district, but I was sure that house was coming down, the big brown block building house. I'm not sure of the address on that, but that company has done good things. I'm glad to see. That's all I got.
That was a good one.
I know.
And
that was
just there. All right, District 2.
Shout out to CXS, the corridor along Mississippi Street. There were 6 railroad crossings that were really needed repaired, and they resurfaced those in the last couple months. If they did it last month, I missed that because I was out of town, but congratulations to them getting those done for smoother rides. Huck Street on 6th Street, Huck's convenience store on 6th Street, I was at Culver's today and I saw that they're hanging steel, and that's always a good sign when they're hanging steel. So I reached out to the manager, and she put me in connection with the district manager, and they hope to have that diesel center completed by middle of next month. They're going to totally regut that store and add showers for truck drivers, and he said close to over $2 million in investment. So I thought, well, that's good for us, for city, for tax dollars. So putting some more property value on that piece of land, and they're really excited to be part of. They're actually going to do that on the Hucks on Hart Street as well, but that's down the road. I don't know if anybody heard or not, but Culver's open today, 9 a.m. County Chamber ribbon cutting at 9 o'clock, and custard and cheese curds for breakfast was really good. And they're glad to be a part of the community, and I'm sure it was busy today.
All right. Thank you. District 3.
District 3, the new business I mentioned at 10th and Main has some signs up, and if you haven't noticed, it's going to be a pet store, and it's something we haven't had for a few years, and I think it's a good idea. Also, Good Samaritan Hospital's having men's wellness fair tomorrow at Highland Woods at the community center.
That's a good thing. I forgot about that.
Between 7 a.m., 10 a.m., and 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And also, remember the leaf pickup dates for District 3 between 15th and 19th, between 1st Street and Kimmel Road, Hart Street to St. Clair. Not all that area is District 3, but a lot of it is. And also between the 22nd and 24th on Main Street to Hart Street, and from 1st Street to Felking. Get those leaves out there to the curb so they don't end up clogging our storm drains. Thank you.
All right. I like those. All right. District 4. And Councilman Ravelette always knocks it out of the park with these, so.
No, I think Councilman Grove beat me tonight. But I'm glad he did.
My little district beat you?
Yeah, man.
Come on
Can
now.
you believe that? No, I had a chance to chat with Heath Klein today, developer at Kimmel Point. And he gave me some information, good information about two of the businesses already there. There's more to come, but I can't say much about those. But
That's what we call a tease in the business,
there
right?
you go. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. But he did
Cliffhanger
say
there,
he did
Dan.
say that Marshall's has been here almost 7 months now, a little over 7 months. I think they opened March 25th, and he said they've already sold more merchandise than they had expected to sell all year in these 7 months. So they're way ahead of their projections.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And also, Hobby Lobby is also ahead of their expectations too. So they're both very pleased with what they've done to move their made to Vincennes, and so are we.
Yeah, very.
That's a nice little spot there.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, District 5, Councilman Lau.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you. I know I've reached out to citizens all over Vincennes with different miscellaneous things over the past few weeks and had some great thoughts there. Also wanted to say again, thank you to all the little trick-or-treaters that came out, because I had very polite young men and young women stop by the house, and it was really nice to see, and got to talk to a lot of people coming up and down the street, and so many people just doing what they were supposed to be doing during that time, so really appreciate that. And I look forward to the festive lights season, and I can already tell that people are excited because it's been warm enough that people are out putting out Christmas lights. So I look forward to Christmas light season and everybody putting in their festive 2 cents.
All right, thank you, Councilman Lau. Councilman McNeese, what do we got?
So I have a few things. One, farmer's market wrapped up before at the end of October and had a great season. If you didn't get a chance to go to the farmer's market this year, you really missed out, and hopefully you'll be there next year. And I know that they will be coming before the Board of Works to expand on Saturday mornings, out maybe even out into the street with some food and other vendors. Also,
That's neat.
Christmas open houses were Friday, and they were packed.
Yeah.
It was a busy, busy time in downtown Vincennes. Just congratulations to them, and thank you to the people who went out. Also, I have other stuff too. 1 week from today, since we won't be here, my daughter turns 11, and I get this
Okay.
platform, so I'm saying happy birthday to her very publicly. So, and then also at the Board of Works, today we did, and I'm taking away, am I taking yours, Tim?
Yeah, you
I'll let-
might. You
I'll-
wanna
nope,
let's
I'll just
kick that
move it
to me?
on, that's all I got, we'll move on to Tim.
Okay.
Councilman at Large, Tim Salters, what you got?
We've got a lot of great things that are happening, and at the Board of Works tonight, we got approved to have the Parade of Lights return December 10th. Now, this isn't going to take away from the reverse parade that's happening the 3rd and the 4th. This is going to be kind of a combination of things. We've had people reach out to us and discussing with the mayor. This just adds another feather in our cap. This allows us to do more during the Christmas season. So the Parade of Lights will be back. And we're going to try to do as much as we can to ease the burden on that because we don't have a lot of time to get that going. So the form went live just a little bit ago. We've got 5 entries right now in the short amount of time. I'm sure that'll just keep racking up as we go. And we're really excited about that. The lights downtown, they look great. I love the lights. They always look, I bet it's an easy way for me to get the kids in the car and calm down at the end of the day. So if you know my little boys, they're little angels. So calming them down at the end of the day is something that's necessary. So I do enjoy the lights that we have downtown. They'd love to go see those. I think the mayor for getting those up quickly, and it's just boom, we've gone right into that. So, and I also thank the mayor for working with us on this parade of lights too. I mean, to be able to get this and kind of, there was some confusion moving forward with that. We were able to kind of get that and figure that out, and hey, we're going to have a lot of events in December. And I think that's a great thing. After having a year with not a lot of events, I mean, it's just another thing that we can do, and we're going to do it for our city, and we're going to have a great time. And, you know, I think people will really love everything that's there to offer in the city of Vincennes, and that's something that we're good at, is doing these little parades, festivals moving forward. So it's been a great day. It will continue to be a great week, and I am looking forward to all the fun that we will have this holiday season. Mayor, your turn.
Real quick, I want to thank Cheryl, Paula, Ellen, Chris, Brad, JP. If you've noticed the downtown parking lots, that landscaping has been cleaned up and cut back.
It looks
and
great.
Emptied all the flower pots on Main Street, getting them ready for holiday decorations. On your, Brian, on your report about people fixing up homes. I am working on looking at if there's some way we can give some form of an abatement to property owners that invest in the exterior of their homes. And then, everybody asks me what the building is behind Old Nashville's new building.
Storage building.
That is their storage building,
Yeah.
so.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
A lot of storage.
You guys asked me, and I
It's been the question of the last couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the Scrooge,
Just your money,
the
Dave.
Scrooge McDuck vault, and they go and swim in the coins and stuff.
Only in the financial world does it make sense to move out of a big building to build two big buildings.
Yes.
So,
They pay taxes.
yeah.
That's
Good point.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Nothing else, we just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So move.
are-
Alrighty. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
They just needed a break. Absolutely.
What do you mean?
So anytime we get a grant, we have to have the fund established to put.
I'm very upset with that.
We do a lot,
Why?
our family with veterans for.
It is true. The chances are much greater, much greater from an unvaccinated. If my kids get measles because of somebody unvaccinated, my kid gets COVID.
So they know who should and when.
I did feel attacked. So, and I'm not interested.
Who's out in the veterans says it. If I want to hear from veterans in the family, my kids shouldn't have to say, how far do you want to go? They have to make me go all the way. It's just,
Hey, Mark,
so we don't get written up.
Don't forget.
I'm going to shoot video.
Chrome and Chrome. Hey, are you feeling better? Hey,
By the state.
are you feeling better?
By the state. From, well,
He was in the hospital for a meeting tonight, and we didn't know if he was gonna be here.
is ours.
He calls me, I'm away from the kids, I get a message, and I'm like,
On out.
just stay in the hospital, do what you need to do. Tammy, is this the only two that I need to sign? Paula, thank you.
Hospitals went in and fixed it.
Tammy, thank you. All right, Chrome and
That's
Chrome.
owned by the state. They did it with the permission of the state to be able to fix
So
it.
of course, my one son, my daughter